Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. I'm Laura, also known as Lala. And this
I
is
am
episode 511. I got on a
always
sword.
interrupting me.
I mean, I feel like that's the thing. I'm Waldorf to your Statler.
Yeah, I think I've maybe seen like 3 minutes of that in my entire life. I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Sunday, the what, 6th of December?
6. Hey, I'm
Um,
backing up for a second. You've not seen more than like 5 minutes of the Muppets?
Not of Waldorf and Statler, no. I had a
Oh.
very different childhood than you. I feel like we've
I
discussed this.
know, but like, you've not watched Muppet Christmas Carol?
No, you forced me to watch Muppet Christmas Carol.
I was gonna say, so you've seen more than 5 minutes of them,
I
but
mean, I
that's
don't
not their.
remember. I remember they're all in a house and there's something going wrong and Miss Piggy is there, and that's about all I remember.
All right, so we are gonna watch some Muppets, the original TV show. Look at what you're in for, because it's amazing. The new Disney Plus is not so amazing, but the old, like, we'll watch the one with Elton John. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that was the one that we watched, if I'm not mistaken. I
Okay.
don't I don't really remember, I mean, to be honest.
Okay.
Believe it or not, this is not a show about the Muppets.
But it would be amazing if it was.
I mean, that's a
For
given. Anything
me.
that we do would be amazing.
Maybe not for Leslie.
Um, Give me knitting or spinning, and I can probably endure it. Uh, this is a knitting show, yeah. So, well, not just knitting, but
Crafting.
crafting in general. So what have you been working on, friend?
Well, I was waiting for you, so I cast on a hat. I was.
You
And,
were.
and it is the angel hat. And I am knitting it out of fully spun in the postscript airing colorway, in colorway Untitled 56. It's one of her one of a kind offs. And I got it caught around my Swift, so I hand wound it. It's really pretty. It makes me super happy. So
Is that one winder still being?
I haven't played with it today.
Oh,
Leslie
okay.
came over and broke my winder, y'all.
I mean, that's pretty much my job, is to come and break things. Apparently,
And there
also
was a
broke
random
something on the
bolt.
sock machine. Like,
It's fine. I'll figure it out.
I joined this, and Laura's like, when you were over here, because I do still go to Laura's on the weekends. We do socially distance while I'm there, but we just sit and hang out and watch
I
TV and
slept
stuff.
on the couch
Yeah,
while
I was
she
in
went
a
out.
totally other room cranking socks, and apparently at some point a nut or bolt came off of the
I think it's
sock
a
machine
nut,
or
yeah.
something near it. I don't know. There
I
was an
don't
extra
know. There
bolt
was
on
a
the floor.
random nut on the floor. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, okay, so you're knitting a what hat? I forgot
It's
already.
it's called the Angel Hat. It's
Okay.
by Kate. Hold on, I got it on my phone. It's just one by one rib, so I'm not looking right now. But it is. Oh, that is my mother's Christmas present. It is by Bakery Bears.
Hmm.
Kate. Is it Jones? Yeah, K.
I
Jones.
have no idea.
Excuse me. K. Jones. And it's just like a real simple ribbing with a little. Ooh, my ring light is like
Like
distorting
got a
that, but like
texture on it.
ribbing with a lot of texture. So yeah, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I don't know if she has her patterns available elsewhere. But yeah, it's a free one. And then the other thing that I've been working on is also out of fully spun, and this is in a repeatable colorway. This is her postscript fingering in mulled wine. And I started a pair of socks for my brother-in-law. These are the Vanilla is the New Black top-down socks. It's been a while since I knit some top-down socks that weren't for small fry. And so I am right about to turn the heel, which is why I cast on the hat. So
Now,
yeah,
is that non-Euclidean heel?
No, this is a different. I mean, there is a pattern called Non-Euclidean Heel. It's not that.
No.
It has ribbing that you create that goes outwards into a triangle shape.
Okay.
So it is creating like a triangle, but I don't know that this has a specific name, this heel. But yeah, I like it. I've done it before. And my brother-in-law said that heel flap and short row heels, well, not heel flap, but top down socks tend to fit him the best. So we're going to give this one a try. He said one pair of socks that I knit him fit him the best, and I cannot figure out what pair of socks it is.
Can he not just send you a picture of them? Or?
He did, and I tried searching the show notes, and I can't figure it out. So I think they're a pair from like a Laura Neal book.
Can you pull it up and show it to our viewers? They might remember.
Oh, Beck sent it to me like a year and a half ago.
Oh.
So I don't have it anymore. Sorry.
Laura is merciless with getting rid of pictures on her phone.
I have to. I don't have space.
Because you don't archive conversations.
No, I delete conversations.
I know, but the ones like, at least in iMessage, like if you don't set up your conversations to archive and go to like the cloud or something, or auto delete after so long, they'll end up, those with the pictures that are attached, as you're talking back and forth, they'll eat up gigs and gigs and gigs.
No, I know. That's why I delete them.
So what's eating up all your space then?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I delete them so they don't eat up all my space. I have a lot of podcasts and audiobooks downloaded to my phone too.
Yeah, I do too.
I have a lot of stuff on my phone, Leslie O'Neill. Stop judging me.
You're like my kid who doesn't like being questioned about things. He's like, it just is, okay?
Let me run my life.
Yeah.
It costs nothing to mind your own business.
That's what I hear.
Oh.
All right. Is that all you've got that you're working on?
Yeah, that's it. Those 2 items, because tis holiday knitting season, and I'm trying to get some stuff done. Also, we recorded like less than a week ago, so.
Yeah.
We recorded last Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I was very slow about getting it up last week because I was fighting with a sewing project that made me angry, so I wasn't coming up to this room to get the podcast up. So there's logic for you. So I am working on really only one thing at the moment actively, and that is this hat. This is one of the patterns I bought during the indie gift along on Ravelry. This is the Fabled Forest hat by Jenny Santo Pietro. And that's what it looks like.
So it's cabled?
It's cabled.
But it's got pom-poms on either side.
Yeah, it's cabled. It's got seed stitch right at the crown and 2 pom-poms on either side.
Does it have a flat crown or does it have a circular crown?
It's a flat. You do a 3 needle bind off at the top. I'm almost at that point. So this is what it looks like. I'm using
super cute.
Farm Girl fibers in the strawberry margarita color. And this is what it looks like. I'm almost at I've got one more row, and then I will be doing the bind off. And then I'll do the pom-poms later. Because I don't know what her instructions, if she wants you to do them a specific way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the only other thing and this I've been working on and off for years. This is the Hasukai cowl. I need to add it to the show notes because it is not in there right now.
I tried to delete all your show notes, by the way, and just leave mine.
That doesn't surprise me. But the fact that you're logged in as me on Chrome because of Patreon and the way that we have to do logins, that would be not beneficial for you. Anyway, this is the Hasukai cowl. I'm just knitting. It's garter in the round. So knit 1 round, purl 1 round to infinity.
Yeah.
I've only knit maybe 4 rows on it, but it's just a good in-between project because I don't have to think, where am I in this project?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working on that on and off, and this is in
Brooklyn tweed.
the colorway is pine. I can't remember the base. It's a lace weight. It's a Rambouillet. But I'll go back in the previous show notes and look it up because I've listed it before. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
What size needle are you knitting that lace weight on?
A 7, 4.5 millimeter.
So I'm knitting my Aran weight hat on a 6.
Wow.
That's what the pattern calls for. Actually, on this hat,
That's super dense.
Actually, you were supposed to cast on 100 stitches, and I was like, I just knit another hat, segueing into finished objects, and that did on size 6, and it's like a 96 stitches, and I was like, I am not casting on 100, so I cast on 90 instead, because the crown decreases are divisible by 10.
Because you know better than the pattern designer.
I mean, I don't know better, but I know how loose I am. And I also know that I'm not knitting an Aran weight yarn on like 4s and 5s.
Yeah, I mean, mine would be
nets.
completely bulletproof. Like, you could replace Kevlar with, if I knit Aran weight on 4s or 5s, maybe even on 6s. Like, son of a biscuit eater. I just found an end I didn't weave in. I thought I had already woven in.
I'm glad you.
There's 3 of them. Mother cracker. Ugh. That's annoying. Sorry, I'm trying to clean up. All right, so you were starting with your finished objects?
Yeah, do you want to go? My dog's barking a lot. I was muting myself so y'all didn't have to hear it. But yeah, I have one finished object, and that is my Bankhead hat. This was out of Plucky Knitter in the Plucky Primo Worsted, which is an MCN, and the Soda Fountain colorway, which is really pretty. And I knit it on 6 needles. And I feel like it's going to fit my uncle very nicely. And I love the stitch definition on the base. I think it created a really, really nice stitch definition. So I'm going to give it a wash. Because on me, take off my giant headphones for a second. It comes down like that. So it's like the tips of my ears. So I think I want a little bit more. And I know from previous experience the MCNs usually grow a smidge. So. But he doesn't have hair, really. I mean, he does, but not as much as I do, so it's probably fine. I probably don't need to rethink this, but I should block it anyways, because you should always block your finished knits. It makes the stitches look nicer.
Well, and plus it'll help if there's any bleed, you can preempt that by giving it a good wash.
Yep.
Get the worst of it.
So I finished the hat for Anna, my cousin, already. That one's for my uncle, and the one I'm knitting now is for my aunt, and I would love to get them all done by next Monday, which would be the 13th, and mailed out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All my Christmas presents knit by the 13th and mailed out, but that's not going to happen.
There's only one of you.
There is, unfortunately.
Sadly, the world is deprived of multiple Lauras. Did you ever see that movie Multiplicity with Michael Keaton?
Yes, and when you make a copy of a copy, it's not as good as the original copy.
They get dumber every time.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Oh, I need to rewatch that. It's been years.
So, what was I going to say? Yeah, but this week I'm going to have very little knitting time because I have 2 basketball game duties. So we'll see what I can get done.
Yeah.
We will see.
Okay, well, I have a couple of finished things.
Yes, you did some sewing this week too.
I did. So knitting first. These I was working on last week when we recorded. I put heels and toes in these socks by Two Sisters Yarn Company, and the colorway is Gothic Rainbow. So all the information on vendors and colorways is listed in our show notes, which is at TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com. So this is Two Sisters Yarn Company in Gothic Rainbow. I really like these a lot. These are mine. Mine.
Good. They should be. They're really pretty. They have a new holiday colorway that's gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah, when I put links up for these, I was looking at, for these and the other pair, I was like, ooh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this is, I did a folded over cuff, afterthought heel, and toe as well. I don't know what that is. That looks weird. And then I did another, these were all tubes that were cranked on our sock machine, which is an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster. It's the red one. These are from Scrumptious Pearl, and the colorway is Campfire by the Trail. So I did these the same way with a folded over hem, and afterthought heel. These are also for me because I'm greedy that way.
I mean, I love it.
Yeah. So I spent a fair amount of time weaving in ends this week and kind of hating it. I don't mind weaving in ends in general, but when you make a sock tube, you end up with a lot of ends, unless you're cranking the whole sock on the machine, which is completely possible.
It is.
It just takes a little finagling to make it work. And I'm not willing to stand at the machine that long. So, yeah, so it's pair number 2. And I cranked 6 skeins today over at Laura's and brought them home. And Kobe picked out 2 that he
really.
would like.
Which 2 did he pick out?
Desert Vistas Candyland, and that pair that's or that tube that's black with like neon accents. I can't remember the name of that dyer off the top of my head. That wasn't actually a stripe. It was a
yeah.
So I'll work on those for Christmas for him. But I also finished a sewing thing. So
Yay.
A couple months ago, I joined what's called Indie Stitch. So it's like a sewing project of the month. And I think it's like $50 a month. And I signed up for like 3 months to try it out to see how I liked it. And you get all the fabric plus the pattern, the paper pattern and a digital pattern and thread, and usually a couple of little notions for that $50.
That's good.
And one of the patterns last month or the month before, I think, was called the Lulu Cardigan. And you also get a choice of fabrics. Like they email you and say, would you prefer this fabric or this fabric? So that's helpful as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's certain fabrics that I am not fond of. So
yeah, like one of the things coming up is PJ pants. And so like you could choose this solid color or this like camo color. And I'm not a big fan of camo. Some people are. It's just not my thing. So
that's exactly the color. Like I was thinking in my head as I was talking about colors I don't like. Camo would be one of those colors.
Yeah.
And Old Navy right now has a ton of camo.
Yeah. It's in style, I guess. So this is the Lulu Cardigan. Again, it's linked on the show notes. It's from Pattern Scout. That's an independent pattern maker. The construction of this was not super difficult. The only thing I really had trouble with was the zipper, and that was entirely my own fault for how I do spatial relations in my head and whether it needed to be flipped one way or the other way. and then where it needed to. At one point, I started the measurement for the zipper here at this fabric versus at the bottom where the band is. So I cut it 3 inches too short. There's no coming back from that. You have to get a new zipper.
No, there is really not.
She does do what I really liked. These have princess seams, so it's better for larger busted people that there are princess seams, and you print out bodice based on your cup size, and it went all the way up to E, I think.
So how did you print this? Did you like print it and cut it and then put it together?
Yeah, you get a paper copy. With most of them, you get a paper copy as well. But then you get a little code for you to do a digital download, because I prefer to keep a digital copy as well. So if I want to sew it for somebody else later and they're a different size than me, I don't have to cut my own, set. So, it's all a knit fabric. There's the stretchy rib at the bottom. I'll try to get a picture in this. It may not be on this episode, though. It might be next week. I put this together mostly with my serger. I love my serger. I need to sing a song of love for my serger. Because it is wonderful, especially with knit fabrics. It's great. So I serged all the seams, and then went back and top stitched over them. So, for example, you can see that line of black stitching. That's where I top stitched with my sewing machine, just to keep the seams flat on the inside. Pattern was pretty easy. She also had a sew along on her blog. So like it was broken down into 5 different posts with pictures and the steps, which was really helpful when it came to the zipper, especially when I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. Again, that was entirely my fault. But I did have to take a time out from it at one point because I was just so mad about it. It took me 4 times. I finally did get the zipper in.
You got it though. That's your first zipper, right?
Yeah, in a garment. Yeah, I put them in like bags before, but I didn't realize there were so many different kinds of zippers. Most zippers are not separating, like the ones that you buy at Joann's and stuff. They do sell separating zippers, but most of what you see, the 2 sides don't come apart. It's just like it creates an opening, but the 2 bottom parts don't come apart. So I had to take sort of a crash course in separating versus non-separating zippers to figure out what I needed. But and the zipper that I got to replace the other one is a little heavier, but it worked fine.
Have you been watching Chicken Boots? What is it? So Live at all? Because she's been doing a ton of garment.
I haven't watched anything in the last couple of months, but Sarami is a great resource for lots of garments because she takes you through every step of the garment. Like it's not her patterns. It's usually other designers, and she doesn't give away any of the secret sauce, but she does say, okay, well, I'm going to attach this part to this part, and this is how I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So,
and if you watch her live, you can ask questions and stuff.
She's super sweet and kind. She
is.
She used to do Chicken Boots bags, and still occasionally she will sell like fabric or kits or something on her site as she cleans out her studio and finds more stuff. Yeah. So there's that, and I forgot I do have one work in progress that is a sewing thing. I will talk very briefly about it. It is the Oceanside Pants. This is from Blank Slate Patterns.
Cute.
So they're just simple drawstring pants, nothing fancy. And I've got several different colors of linen and that I bought intentionally for pants to try out.
And you love drawstring linen pants. That's
I do. I've got probably 5 pairs. 3 of them are black. So I'm using this gray, and I probably would have had this finished, except I somehow neglected to realize I would actually need a drawstring and didn't cut it out. And so to like get back my pattern out, and then I had to reprint a couple of pages because I threw away the extra that I wasn't using, and apparently that's what I thought this was, and remark everything. It was kind of a pain. So, but I've got most of the assembly done. It was actually relatively simple. It's got these cute little patch pockets. And you put a button here. It's not functioning, it's just decoration.
Yeah.
So I'll sew that on afterwards probably. And you just do a fold over at the top and encase the drawstring. So there are a couple spots where I was going so fast with my serger I wasn't actually paying attention, and it's not it's not like completely closed. So I need to go back over that, and then I'll top stitch the seam down as well so that it's not flapping around. But yeah, these were super simple for the most part. There's just like one big seam, and the sizing on them is pretty good. It's extra small to 3X. So hip wise, it's 34-inch hips to 55-inch hips. But she also has what I really think is worth the cost of this pattern. Is she's like, okay, so what if you're between sizes? So there's customizing fit, right?
Oh, cool.
And I'm not going to show you everything, but she's got 4 pages about like, okay, if your pants are doing this, like if it's creating a wedgie here, this is what you need to do. If it's creating sort of a gap here, like this is what you need to do.
That's smart.
Yeah, for somebody who isn't super experienced in creating garments, that is gold. So,
that's the one thing that I love about the Kate Atherley. Well, that's one of the things that I love about the Kate Atherley sock book is if you're trying to fit socks and you're like struggling, she's like, if it's not working here because of this is how you fix that. Like the whole back section, that's all that is. She's got a new hat book that I really want to get. So sometime soon.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
This is Oceanside Pants. Super simple for the most part. I might finish them tonight, maybe not. I took a 2-hour nap when I got home from Laura's unintentionally, so I'll be up for a while. Last night I was up until almost 2 a.m. I'm working on a different knit top. It's knit fabric, but it's a little fiddly, so I didn't finish. So
your goal for this week that you told me was to get 2 garments done. So yeah, you've gotten 1 completely done.
Yeah,
one most of the way done, and then started another one.
Yeah, the other one is probably about halfway done because the fabric's cut. Most of the front seams are sewn. There's just a couple of little fiddly bits that'll take as long as everything else because they're so little and fiddly.
So that's awesome. I feel like you accomplished your goal for the week. Do you feel accomplished?
I got pretty close. So if I manage to finish these pants tonight, then I'll be happy, which is a very
You also finished 2 pairs of socks this week.
I did finish 2 pairs of socks this week and almost a hat.
Yeah.
So I got quite a lot done. I'm happy with what I've gotten done. So
for 2020, you got a lot done.
Yeah. If we're basing it off of 2020, yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's it. You got a bunch of spinning done though.
I didn't get a bunch done. I plaid something and then finished. Well, okay, so I got a decent amount done. So I'm trying to get better about like saying no, I didn't do anything, like when really I did.
It's like accepting a compliment.
Yes. So this is, and I thought I was going to hate this, and I really, really like it. Just because when I was applying it, there seemed to be a lot of yellow. And this is pre-bath. I think the yellow blends really well. So this is the Nest fiber. It was a superwash merino in the By the Seashore colorway. I think it's going to be like baby, like maybe a flax light pullover. It's a 2-ply, 400 yards. Yeah. So it needs its bath. It's a little thick and thin at places. It's not perfect, but who needs perfection?
Finished is better than perfect.
I feel like perfection is overrated. And I spin a lot now on my Daedalus Starling. It sits right here when I'm on Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I get a little distracted. But yeah, by other people's pretties.
I'm happy. That's pretty.
Yeah. So 400 yards of that. And then I did finish the loop singles. So this will be chain plied. It was a loop bump, a 4.6 ounce loop bump in the Magic Trick colorway. So I'm thinking I'll probably get around 250 to 300 yards of a chain ply. Chain ply is a version of 3-ply where you ply it back on itself, kind of like crochet.
Mm-hmm.
Will create a gradient. So the last color was this black. So all the black will stay together, then red, and this bright pink. Then there's 2 shades of purple, and then there is a blue. You can kind of see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's super awesome. That should get plied this week. And then on my wheel last night, Daedalus had a Zoom that I joined in, and I started spinning some Hello Yarn. This is the Organic Matter colorway. It is South American wool, which is just like a generic wool.
Right.
And I almost have the first half done. I probably have an ounce and a half done, and then this is the second half, and I think I'm actually going to split this to fractal. So the one side will be long stripes of color, and then this side will be shorter stripes of that green, navy blue, brown, and the white will blend in. You won't see the white. It gives fiber kind of like a frosted look when white is added, as long as it's not like big stretches of white. So I think it'll be really pretty. It's got that like brighter blue in there too. So yeah, that will be pretty, I think. And then I'll knit that up or gift that for Christmas. We will see. Usually my knit group gets hand spun gifted to them for Christmas.
Yeah.
I might be a bit of a Santa elf and deliver some stuff to some people. So we'll see.
I'm sure that would be welcome.
Yeah. And Leslie gets nothing. Or something. And I asked her if she wanted her Christmas present early, and she told me no, that I had to wait to give it to her.
Yep.
It wasn't Christmas
because I knew
yet.
it would drive her freaking bananas.
But it's hidden in the guest bedroom, and I had to make sure the door was closed. So Leslie arrived, and I was like, oh crap, I was in there doing stuff earlier. The door is open.
Yeah, because I'm so often in that room.
Well, you walk past it sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in there with Pearl's Christmas stockings worth of toys and treats. Everyone else's stuff I've been mailing out to them or just had sent to them, you know, so.
I don't know how I feel about the seed stitch at the top yet.
I think it'll look nice. I feel like cables and seed stitch always look nice. Yes, put it on.
I don't know if it'll fit over my headphones. I guess we'll see.
You can take off your headphones. That's a look. With your headphones. It's cute. The pom-poms will make it.
Yeah, because I'll go here.
Yeah. It's
so,
more lace than cabled. Is it cabled at all or just lace?
No, it's just cabled.
Oh. There's yarn overs in there.
Well, yeah. To create columns. This will probably go to... I was thinking that it might go to my niece, but she's not to traditional feminine colors, so I'm not sure who it'll go to. Might see if my sister wants it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so there's that.
It's a very back hat, too.
If you think she would wear it, it can go with your package to your brother-in-law. Oh my God, I want a picture of your brother-in-law in this hat.
You should say, I think that is who it needs to go
That's
to.
worth my time right there. I did just
With
as
the
we were.
pom-poms.
Yeah, I'm going to do the pom-poms later tonight. I can do that while I'm sitting in front of the TV. So, I did wind off my warm woolen mittens. I made Laura wait to start recording so I could wind this off. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's very like
tweedy.
Yeah, very tweed. It's very dense because I ran it through plying again so that I could tighten up that twist. And it's probably about a worsted weight. And it's 8 ounces total, around 400 yards. We'll see once it has its bath and how much it shrinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly sort of.
It might not shrink. It might actually grow because it's relaxing the twist so much.
It's possible, yeah. But I'm very happy with how it came out. I really like the colors.
It's pretty. So it's like a worsted weight. Yeah. 400 yards. I think
it's got
for
a couple of really thin spots, but overall it's pretty standard.
Be great to do like color work with on a sweater with a gray.
Yeah, or something with like a yoke that's a different color.
Yeah.
That brings out the pops.
Radiate.
So this needs a bath, so I'll do that later.
Oh, Hohi and Vera have a new book too.
Oh, yeah, they do. The new interpretations, right?
Yeah.
I need to
We'll have to get that one too.
Yeah, get that one and take a gander through it.
Mm-hmm. Got some pretty stuff. They were posting. They were both posting.
This is not what I need. Thank you. I have so much stuff crammed into my hide and hammer. I use this bag all the time. This is my hide and hammer red waxed canvas bag.
Number 3.
Yeah. Hers are numbered, and each number is a different size, I think, and style. So, yeah. What have you been reading?
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Or a Diet Dr. Pepper, which is what I prefer.
Yeah.
I am still listening to Alana Andrews' Wildfire. I listened to a little bit last night. I did read, and that's an adult male female. I did read Distress Signals, which is a middle grade survival book by Mary E. Lambert. It is about a girl, and it's from her point of view, and her class always goes on a field trip camping in the Arizona desert. And she's recently had a falling out with her best friend, who's now friends with someone that she can't stand. And she's forced to sit next to this boy who's acting weird on the bus. And when they get to the camp out, she's a little bit bossy. They go on a hike, and when they stop for water, she tells her former best friend, like that they're going to play hide and seek. She actually tells the girl that she doesn't like that they're going to play hide and seek, and she's fooling around with her ham radio and hears that there's a flash flood alert, and they're in like the basin where water would run. So she tells her teachers, and the teachers start to evacuate all the kids, and she realizes that these 2 girls that she tricked are hiding. It's hard to like her as a person. It's hard to like these kids, to be honest with you, which is part of the thing. They're all unlikable in their own ways, kind of like Breakfast Club. They're all unlikable in their own ways. To make a long story short, the boy stays behind to try to help her find them, and they all end up getting swept away by this flash flood and having to try to survive on their own. The one really interesting part that I didn't know a lot about is she is a ham radio operator. So she has a small ham radio with her that she's trying to connect. And I don't know a lot about ham radio operation. So that part was really interesting too. But if you have a middle grade age kid who really likes like hatchet survival type books, Wildfire would be another one by Philip Pullman. This would be a good one to put in their hands. So yeah, it was enjoyable. It was a quick read. I read it super fast because I was like, are they going to die? Going to happen? Are they all going to survive? That's the nice thing about survival books is they kind of like suck you in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why so many people like the TV show Lost or
Oh God, don't even bring that show up. That show was so it was so confusing and it kept you engaged, and then at the end it was just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was an enjoyable read, and it's a brand new book that just came out. So yeah, that's what I have been reading. What have you been reading, friend?
I was actually remarking to Laura earlier, I feel like I'm reading super slow lately. I'm still reading Gods and Ends by Devin Monk, and I'm close to the end of the third book of the Leveling Up series. This is the magical midlife. The last word always changes. Um, and so I'm almost finished with the third one, which is the one that just came out. And then I'll go back to Gods and Ends. And I'm re-listening to the tarot sequence, which is like starts with The Last Sun, and then the next one is The Hanged Man. It's by KD something, but I have no idea when the next one's going to come out, and the author's website is not helpful. It hasn't been updated since like 2018. What?
Katie Edwards.
Okay.
I looked it up for you.
I wish that I knew when the next one was coming out because it's a really good series. It's male adult fantasy, but it is triggering because the main character suffered a brutal attack before the book series starts, but there are memories of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to re-listen to Dune because there is a movie coming out. There was a movie already, but there's a new movie coming out. It's got Jason Momoa, and I'm a big Jason Momoa fan. And I was like, I'm going to try it again because I've tried it. Kobe's tried it, and I just can't get into it. I tried it again, and I got through the first same 2 hours, and then it's just too political, and I just don't care. So I tried that again, and I'm going to end up returning the book because I can't get into it. It's kind of like I don't like reading George R.R. Martin either. The movies are fine, but a lot of the names are too similar, and my brain mixes up who is who and who's doing what, and I spend so much of my time mentally trying to keep up with what's happening that I can't do anything else. And for me, reading or listening to an audiobook, which is the way that I was doing it, is a way to keep me entertained while I'm doing something else, like sewing or knitting or spinning or cleaning or whatever. So that it didn't fit the bill for me.
You know what's gonna fit the bill for you? Muppets.
I can always pull out my phone and save some babies. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else really. I had the week off, but I feel like I didn't really do anything with my week off, which isn't a crime.
Sew 2 garments, finish 2 pairs of socks, knit a hat.
Yeah, I don't know. I took a lot of naps.
Well, that's good. You did some self-care.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm learning with this pandemic for me. One thing that I learned on very early this school year is usually what would help me at school would be crossing things off lists, writing lists and crossing things off. And this year, I would write a list and then so much stuff would get added and I was having to be flexible with other things that were going on, that I was not able to cross off what I needed to cross off. So instead, I started writing down what I got accomplished that day. And that really helped me, like, mentally be like, see, you did get stuff done. It doesn't feel like it until you do that reflection and be like, I wasn't able to do that thing that I planned, but I was able to help a kid by sitting through an hour-long IEP meeting, or, you know.
Yeah, and this year especially, like, everybody has had to pivot in how they do their jobs. Like, and doing that isn't instantaneous. You can't go from, okay, well, this is how I've done my job for 20 years. And now there's this pandemic and it affects several different aspects of how I do my job. I'm suddenly just going to immediately know that I need to do my job this way, rather than all the trial and effort that comes with figuring out the right solution. And that's not necessarily an accomplishment. It's a lot of work, though. Like, trying and discarding different methods of pivoting, and until you find the right one, like, it can feel like you're not getting anything accomplished, for sure. And we live in such a
production driven society.
That's an excellent way of saying it. We're very goal oriented, and our goals aren't always in line with our health, so mental or physical.
So I think it's good. You got a lot accomplished, and you got to do a bunch of self-care. So I think that deserves a pat on the back.
Yeah.
And you made me deviled eggs last week.
I did make you deviled eggs. There is that.
So you deserve a pat on the back for that, because they were delicious.
What else? Do we have any favorite things that we need to talk about?
I want to say that I have been using, if you were looking for, this is an unpaid commercial, but I keep my Tuft Woolens bomb here, and I've been using a lot as I've been spinning lately. This is her Wild Pignon colorway scent, and it is amazing. So if you're looking for a stocking stuffer for knitty friends, I love Tuft Woolens. I'm going to put some more on now. I also like that it's portable in this little stick. So they're unpaid, unsolicited advertisement for Tuft Woolens, because I love Martha. She's amazing.
She's a good human.
And her products are also amazing.
Yeah, I use her bath bars exclusively now because they smell so good. They last forever. So I use her bath bars. I think, what's the one I've got now? It's like apple cider cinnamon or something. It's really delicious.
She's got some good lip balms too, and she just put out some new flavors. And I was very tempted earlier, because I've been like, this smells so good. It's kind of like a piney woods type smell.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'll have to let you scent it next time you come over.
You can just open the door and put your hands right in my face.
I will. Or I'll just throw the bomb to you.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to talk about, though.
No, I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a good week, and we will talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.